So I'll just quickly run through what we did in the last class. So this was our agenda. Introduction to databases. We went into different types of SQL, NoSQL databases, some concepts about the logical, the physical, how a database parameters are. We saw normalization, these sort of things we saw. SQLs, we are yet to start there. So this session, I will go into SQL and we'll do some hands-on as well. Also, we'll try to get to this SQLite, Google Colab, DB SQLite, and we'll keep that way. Apex also we'll get. Okay. So let's get into the other things here. Database collection of records, columns, relational database, and RDBMS as relational records. We saw the various types of referential integrity, primary key, referential integrity constraint. Okay. Simply a table having a primary key is related to another table, which is where that primary key of the first table is repeating many times, called the foreign key. Okay. So examples like order will have many order lines like that. Student in courses is many to many relationship. One student can be in many courses. A course can have many students. So that's a many to many relationship. So primary key is a unique identifier. So values of the primary key column, when you define it, is typically like ID, it will not repeat. Okay, it will be unique for that column. Foreign key is the primary key of the first table or the parent table in the child table. So we have parent table order lines is the child table, and foreign key will repeat. So the order number or order ID in the order table will have, let's say there are 3 order lines. All of these 3 order lines will have the same order ID. Okay. The order lines itself can have a unique column, which could be the line ID, order line ID. Okay, so like that. Database schema is a collection of tables. I could have, let's say, HR schema, where a person and details are there, the employee's first name, last name, and all that. I could have his person's documents like in another table, or you could have the work experience, the job positions. There are several tables like that. Jobs, employees, person, all that. They all could be put in one user called a HR user. So HR user is typically a database schema. Okay, at the database, it's a schema means a collection of tables, and there can be other things like indexes. Like we saw, the index is used to search a page in a book, like that. So these are database objects put inside a database schema, and the database itself could have multiple schemas, right? So there's a HR schema, there's a purchasing. So typically there could be many users. Each user could have a schema name like that. Okay. So this is an entity relationship diagram where entity means information about which you're storing like uh, the data, right? So this is supplier, this is customer. Supplier is one entity, customer is an entity. All these are entities, and the relationship is shown in an entity relationship diagram. Like that. We saw this. Normalization reduces redundancy. It means repeating data, if you store in the database, it will take a lot of space. The repeating data could be like order number if you are storing in the lines table, any other information about the order, like the customer and all that. If you're storing all that for every row, when you have millions of orders, the data of this column will repeat, right? So repeating million times the order name, customer name is redundant. So that redundancy uh, is eliminated in the process called normalization. Okay. We saw some new type of database like NoSQL database is there. This database is not just a SQL database. Whatever we saw is a SQL database. Okay, there are NoSQL databases which will typically store documents or have some non-record base table. Okay, these are NoSQL databases. They are MongoDB, Apache, Cassandra, Redis. They're simply like document stores. So that's NoSQL database. PostgreSQL is one of the open source database. This is the Postgres admin screen. You have a database like this, and it has all other objects inside that database. Will have objects like tables, things like that are inside a database. Okay. And you have the admin have a query tool. The query tool means when there are some employee table, you want to write a, a select statement in SQL. So that's this tool is allowing that. But that could be from one table. Okay. Other SQL statements are there. So all that can be run from an administrative tool. The administrator can use tools query to query that information. This is just Postgres, though we are not using Postgres in this session. So administrator could create a database. He could create other database objects. Everything inside a database under a schema is called a database object, whether it's table, indexes, there are sequences. These are all database objects. We, they could, I mean, the administrator could create it with certain statements. This is a database creation statement. Let's see, this is when the database is to be started up. The administrator runs some SQL administrator level commands to start up the database. Let's say Oracle database. So when the particular database could be a production database, that means it's used by the customers of the company live. There could be another database like a quality database. That means it's used for performance testing of the database. Some development database, test database. Likewise, there could be multiple database the administrator is handling. Each database will have a connection parameter. Okay, connection parameters, typically database initialization parameters. Why they call initialization? Because when the database starts, the RDBMS, when the administrator starts the database, these parameters in this file called database.ini file is read, and then the database starts. It knows that it'll start in this host, this machine, that will be the port number, like that. And then the processes in the database will start listening for connection for this database. Okay, there will be some background processes like listeners which start, and they'll start looking for the connections. Connections are like user is connecting to a schema, and then he'll query like that. So that query is written in structured query language. Okay. So a query is a question. This is where we parked last week. A query is a question you ask to the database. Okay. What could be the question? Like suppliers database, who are the top 10 suppliers? Which are the top 5 customers, like that? Okay. In terms of order price, which are the top 5 largest orders. Okay, these sort of questions you ask in English is written in a structured manner because data is kept in tables. That structured manner, you are writing some statements which will be processed by the RDBMS and the results will come back as data. It will give you the 5 customers. It will give you like top 10 suppliers like that. Okay. So structured query language is a language used by the relation database management system. There is some syntaxes around this. The syntax you follow are mostly uh, for the developer to directly write statements. Okay. So here data is stored in tables, the form of records. Records in tables have rows and columns. SQL has a syntax. Okay. The SQL itself is a standard. Okay. So though the database, yes,
S- SQL has a syntax and SQL itself has a.
SQL itself is a standard.
Okay, sir.
Okay, standard means you might have heard this ISO, ANSI, this American National Standards Institute. And these are some standards organizations. That means anything and everything, let's say you are doing, they will try to standardize and have some compliant to that standard you are interacting. Okay, if your language is there, they follow a standard. Much like, let's say, if you are trying to do some weights and measures, the standard is there, like 1 kg is a standard, kilogram is a standard. The unit itself is having some standards, right? Standards in terms of various measures and weights and all that.
SI unit and all.
SI unit, right? Here, ISO is a global organization. They are a standards organization, whereas American standards is this ANSI. So that simply means that there's a standard manner. It's accepted. The language is accepted as a standard. It's a standard of interchange. It's a standard of communication like that. Okay. So SQL is having its own syntax, and SQL is also a standard. Okay, it's both. It's not just a language, it's also a standard. Okay. Like in the last class, I talked about XML. XML is a language, but XML is
Extended markup language.
extended markup language. Correct. That is also a standard. So anything what we interact with in terms of programming, there will be a standard involved. Like IEEE is a standard, right? Like that. SQL is used to create data structures, query, insert, update, delete records. So this is simply like called CRUD, create, read, update, delete. CRUD. CRUD. And control the database transactions as well. Database transactions are happening in a logical manner. Okay, that means you're not physically opening an Excel file and deleting by yourself. By using SQL, it's a high-level language. Okay, high-level language means the language is giving some instructions to the database. With this language, you are telling what you need, but you are not writing a program to at a low level to go and do anything. You're just interacting with the database like you're talking to the database. Okay, so this through this SQL language, but you are not directly going and writing code in Python or low-level programming language to say how it is going to do that particular statement, right? So such languages are called fourth generation language, 4GL, or high-level languages. Okay, high-level languages will tell what to do rather than going about how to program it to do. Okay, so when you go to low level, they are procedural languages like third generation languages. Further lower are like machine language and assembly language. Okay. So those are low level, and SQL is a high level language. Okay. Um, so common databases are like SQLite. This is an academic database. Postgres, which we just talked about. Oracle, again, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, MySQL. These are all from the enterprise space. These are all large enterprises owned databases. Oracle, most flagship product of Oracle. Microsoft SQL Server. MySQL is also with Oracle. Microsoft Access is a single user database. SQL Server is multi-user, much like Oracle's database, but from Microsoft. Okay. Here is Microsoft Access, which you might have come across. Access is a single user database. That means you will have some interface which you can learn it much like an academic database. Okay. So here it's this one is enterprise from Microsoft. This is more as one user from Microsoft. So MySQL is also acquired, but these are all different databases with Oracle, SQL and Oracle. Oracle Apex is Application Express is a tool for low-code development. What is low-code development? That means further you can do drag and drop features like that. Okay, I said high-level languages, you still follow a syntax and SQL is one, but you can still do drag and drop sort of without writing code. So anywhere you hear this term called low code development means it's more like a visual, and it's like in HTML you have this as well. Whenever you say low code development, you will drag and drop and the layout is formed, like what we saw layouted for Bootstrap, right? So you didn't write code there. The layout itself helped you form the page. Okay, so that's typically low code. Okay, very minimal. There will be some you can modify the code, the background, whatever code is written by the tool, you can see and all that. Okay, so Oracle Apex is one such tool. We will see Oracle Apex in this session.
Okay, sir.
Uh, Okay, CRUD, you know that create
Read
here could be like creating an object, create an object. In this case, create table, for instance. Read is SQL. Read is more a query. Okay, you are reading. Okay, suppose you want to see all the employee information, so you read. So here you will write select statements. So select statements. In a query, you will write select like this. Okay. So select statements uh, is read. Okay. And update means you are the table you created here, you're modifying. You're modifying the structure of the table. Pardon me, update, you are modifying the data in the table, not the structure. See, the data is, let's say, okay, we'll come to an example. Okay, but update here means you're changing. Let's say the salary of the
editing the data
employee
like
was,
that.
let's say, 1,000. 1,000, you're changing to 2,000. Then it's an update. Suppose your hiring date of an employee, you want to confirm the employee. You're updating the same record. Okay, you're editing and changing. Yeah, that's correct. Delete. Delete is you're removing rows. I inserted 3 rows. Let's say I don't want the second row. I'll go delete that particular row. Okay. So these are the SQL operations which we'll do. Okay. Typically, you'll write separate statements like that. Okay. We'll see the details. Okay. Now, when you write SQLs, you're going to create table. In this case, table is the object, right? So creating table, you are defining what is the definition. It's called a data definition language. You're defining what are the columns of the table. Students, I have roll number or ID. ID is an internal value, like I told you, primary key. Internally, every record is unique with this ID. Okay. Uh, and then name of the student, gender, like that, age, like that. If you define the table's columns, then you are doing what's called data definition. Okay, and create. Anytime the SQL is having create, it's a data definition language. Okay, it has a term like that. Okay, so create table defines what is the name of the table and the columns,
Database.
the column names, in the database. Column names will have the data type and the constraint, primary key, and then comma. This means this is the whole definition of the first column. Okay, this bracket is important. So then comma,
With case sensitive,
name.
sir.
No, none of this is case sensitive. You can write in any case. But by
Okay.
convention, the syntax of the SQL, you see here, this is in uppercase.
Yes, sir.
Create table. The syntaxes are in uppercase. The names of the objects, like here, student table, right? Students is in lowercase. Column names, uh, conventionally, lowercase, the data type and the constraint all in uppercase. So this exactly is by convention how a create table will be written. Okay, in terms of which which names are in upper and lower. Okay, right, clear now. So creating a table as simple as that. Now each of these, okay, not null is a constraint. That means I cannot leave the name of the student as empty. Null means empty, okay, or blank. Okay, you cannot leave it blank. Now here are three columns. I could define any number of columns, and I could also include here. Uh, put the brackets and a semicolon. The semicolon is at the end of every SQL statement. Okay. So here we are inserting, there is a semicolon, selecting semicolon. So semicolon determines where that SQL statement ends. Okay. So it will process till here. I could optionally, I could optionally include constraints as a separate definition before I end this semicolon. Here, though, we have not done anything. Like I could include constraint like gender is male, female only, M and F only, like that. Or these sort of rules can be put on the table. Okay, so like that. So then, though in this case, we are not using. Insert into students values. This is how you insert values for these three columns. So one is going to go against ID. So insert into values are all keywords. Okay. Students is the name of the table. So insert into students values bracket open first row 1 comma ren comma m. Okay. So that inserts the first row and the semicolon. Typically every insert of a row you should have one insert statement. Okay, so that's how this is. Okay, insert into table name values, and the second record is to Joanna, female. So like this. So it will give you a response back. Okay, it will give you a response one row inserted like that. So here also when you create the table, it give you the RDBMS will give you a response back one um, uh, table created like that. Okay, so these two, the create and the insert. Next, we are doing a select to read. Okay, I've inserted few rows. Now I want to read the rows. So then you use this select star from student name. Okay, student table where criteria gender equal to F. So here what's happening is you have select from and where. These are all keywords. Okay. Star represents all columns, all three columns. Okay. Suppose I want a specific column, name and gender alone. I would just say select name, comma, gender from students. Okay. I'll specify those columns separated by a comma. Okay.
Okay, actually, where do we type this SQL in Google Colab Notebook or
We'll come
somewhere?
to it. There are uh, several places we can do this. Yeah. We can do in Colab, we can do in separate tools like what I listed out in the agenda. We will do that. Apex also I'll show in this session. Okay. Now select star from students where criteria. Now criteria is column equal to value. Okay. So here gender is text or uh, we'll look at other data types. Okay. But since it's a string here, gender single equal to this data is in quotes. This can be single or double quotes. Okay. So column equal to value. Okay. And that's called the where clause. This is called the where clause. Okay. Where with a criteria. I could have multiple criteria where I would say gender equal to female, name starting with J, like that, or value equal to Joanna, like that. So then if I have more than one criteria, I'll have an and. So after the where will be an and keyword and the second condition. And the semicolon will be at the end of it. We'll see. Okay. So this is how you write SQL. Now here, while defining the table, we saw columns can have integer text like that. So this is a set of all the data types where the column can have very many data types, right? So we'll see each of these data type. Name, okay, name of a person, name of a project, like that. So name, first name, last name, it could be like that, or it could be single column. In this case, char and a size. So char 50 is 50 characters long. Okay, 50 characters. This is a typical string. Varchar 2 means that can be a variable length. Okay, the columns data is a string, but string or numbers, okay, still, but that whatever you have can have a different varying length. Okay, so here is an example, address underscore line 1, varchar 2 of 150. Now, why this way? Because my address on that particular record could be a max of 150. So in one of the row for RAN, it could be like 100. Another another record could be 80. So variable character. When you have varchar 2, its alpha, I mean, its main advantage is because it's variable character, it does not store for the entire 150. Space is taken, let's say if it is 80, remaining 70 is blank, right? So this data type will store only for the length where you have the actual data. Okay. Rest of the space, the 70 blank characters, is not occupied. So that's the difference between char and varchar. Char 50 means every time on the record, it will allocate 50. It will not look at what the data is. Okay. Whereas varchar 2 is a better way of defining because it will only look at how much space it occupied, and that much only is allocated in the database. So this is a common notation where char2, common data type being used. There is no such preferences, but if you choose to define with 50, there it goes. Okay. If you choose varchar, it will do variable character. Most address lines are like address lines 1, 2, 3. They're all varchar. So varchar2 within bracket 150. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Text is some name. Okay. So Boolean true false. Okay. Gender is Boolean. Okay. Integer can be integer numbers, float, floating point, decimal like that, double, long, floating point. Date can have this year, month, day, date format. Oracle, okay, that's general SQL itself here. Oracle has, hmm, okay, we'll see Oracle a little later because there is number data type. Okay. Generally, they'll use a common number data type where they can have this number of number of four, or this is 3 digits, right? 129.
Basic. Okay, yes, please.
So number of this will be like let me type on number. I'm typing this. Hold on. 3, 1. This is a data type 2. In Oracle, I could have score or marks number of 3, 1. What does this mean? I am having 3 digits totally and
And one decimal point.
1 digit after the decimal point. So this is called precision and that is called scale. Okay, so this is precision, this is precision P, this is scale. Okay, precision and scale. Simply how many digits
Sorry, sir.
after the simply how many
Okay.
digits after the decimal point. Okay, this is what Oracle uses. They don't stick on to too many of these variants.
Precision and the second one is
Scale
scale.
like the
Okay.
ruler scale.
Okay.
So that is that. Okay, now here is an example. Create table person or persons, either way is fine. Capital, no need to follow. This is by notation normally lowercase. ID int not null, last name varchar of 255. So what is this? Variable length. Last name could be like uh,
What
4
is
parts,
not null means, sir? Not null.
not blank. You cannot leave it blank.
Okay.
Not null. That means you must have a value. If you don't have a value, the record will not be inserted. So it's a constraint. It's a rule. Okay, it means this column cannot be left blank. Okay. First name, it's allowing. So you are defining. Okay, you are allowing nulls, then you don't need to define. Age, integer. Okay, age, integer. Constraint. Now here is the one which I was talking about earlier. The constraint can be defined much like columns. So comma, here, 3, 4 columns I have defined, comma, and constraint. This is syntax. Okay, this is syntax still. Constraint. Name of the primary key. This can be any name. I'm just using convention pk person. Primary key is the name of the constraint. Type of constraint is primary key. So this primary key, not null, these are all types of constraint. Okay. And then you open a bracket and you're saying which column is that you're defining as primary key. Now, primary key can be a single column. Okay. But in this case, however, we want to define both ID and first name together as a primary key. Then you separate those columns ID, comma, last name. And this is inside brackets. So that is our last record. I could have multiple constraints, constraint primary key, constraint further defined below. And then this column, this brackets ends and semicolon. Okay. So this is a table where you're creating person. Okay. And a symbol represents all columns. That's for the SQL. Okay. So here is a select statement with a where clause as a criteria. Select star from customers where country is equal to Mexico. Okay. Uh, so this is a string country equal to Mexico. This is where criteria 1 semicolon. Star refers to all the columns of this table. Okay. So like that. Okay. So let's. Okay. Now we get to some hands-on. Okay, here is aggregate functions. Aggregate functions means suppose I want to know how many total customers are there, right? I want to count star from customers. That will give you all the records in the customer table, and that will be my total number of customers. So count is an aggregate function. I could use it in the select statement directly. So I'll say select count star from customers. Okay, so these are all other aggregate function like average, marks, average from marks. Okay, average of a column. Within bracket, it will take a column name, but if you could give star, it will refer to all the records. If there are 3 rows, average of 3 means you want to do 1, 2, 3, all 3 rows. I want to find, let's say, marks average. So this marks like that. The average will be the column name. Okay, so AVG and the name of the column, whatever be the column name, like that. So count will take all these aggregate functions will take the within brackets the name of the column. If you just say star, it means all the records. Okay. Min, max, again, same way. Min and max of the column. Min salary, max salary, like that. Okay. This is one SQLite browser available without any installation. So if you point to this URL, you'll get one SQLite browser. I would rather there
Then
are
URL or URI, sir?
URL.
URL, okay.
Yeah, URI is a general term referred to either it could be a data, it could be an address. It's just a names. It's just one resource. Okay, URI is generally used by some developers, but it's generally referred to as a resource. URL is this specific address you're using on the browser. That's all. So if I point to this way, it will see why this I do is because extendclass.com. Let's say you are totally on the blue, I mean, totally not wanting to install anything. Typically, when you want to work with a database, you will have to install a software, you have to create a database, all that, right? That's administration task. Whereas here, when you point to SQLite browser in extend class, he has given one ready to use lightweight SQLite database. Okay. You can directly use it. You can straight go in and start writing your query select statements. Okay. So this is one option. Now, earlier I told few other options are there. I will show all of these. Okay, just hold on. Apex is one. Okay. And we go to the front. This one, DB SQLite browser. SQLite can be accessed through Google Colab Notebook. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and that extend class. So any third party extend class is totally third party. Okay. That means I don't do anything. I go straight and start writing queries. Okay. So, so we will, one moment. Okay, what I've done, I will show in the interest of time. Just hold on. Here. Uh, so what you're seeing here is an Oracle Apex screen. Okay. This allows you to get one workspace. Okay. So we'll look at Apex first. Okay. But I will show you what are the steps here. Here, anybody could come and register. Okay. And get one workspace in Apex, this tool, Oracle Apex. Okay. And I did so. And then I am in. I connected. Okay. So when you connect here, I already done the connect and all that. This gives you a menu at the top. Okay. That's the login. And if I do SQL workshop, I can run very many of these uh, items. Object browser, okay. SQL developer web, okay. Or even just say SQL command. So SQL commands is what this is. It will come here. I can write queries at the top here and it will give you an output. Okay. So here I have, let's say I'm doing a create. I'll do a very simple uh, demo here. Create table, right? Let's say person. Okay, person. I have a person can have an ID. Okay. Okay. So that's just an ID and can have a name. Name. Let's say cat of let's say it's a long name like care 70. Okay, so this is name. And let's keep it simple. Okay, I'll give a job per care 2 and let's say 100. Okay. Then let's say address.
Name char means we have to type a name of 70 characters.
Exactly. Exactly.
So then what's the difference between what? Sorry. I got it. Sorry, sir.
This will take all the 70 space. Or you
Okay.
could, that's only, it's there, but typically everyone would use varchar only. But some cases, name and all you can allocate. Something. So it's there, it allows for both. So address line, one here, 2, or 1, 3. Okay. Let's say age is a number. Okay. Age is a number. Like it can go on. Okay. So these are some, so it can be one line or you can break into multiple lines. That's fine. Okay, so typically, this is a table definition. I can highlight like this as one line and run. We give a response, table created, correct? This is Apex. It's giving you how many seconds it took to create the table. The table is already created and it is there. Now the table is empty. If I query select count from person, it will give 0 records because there's nothing on the table. Okay. So count star is an aggregate. So common SQL uh, statements like this. Select count star, or if I do select star, when I highlight, it highlights both the similar ones. I'll come to that. It's highlighting both places, right? So that's to make multiple change, you have to do a shift D to multi-select. Basically, it does a multi-select. If there is a similar name elsewhere, it will do a multi-select. But here, select star from person. No data form. There's nothing there. Okay. So this queries. Okay. Now let's insert into person, name of the table, and then you have to say which columns you want to insert. ID, comma, name. Here it's not required to put all the column names, but if you want to put some specific columns alone, also that's fine. Data into those columns alone will come. Address line. Here in this case, I'm doing for all the columns. Then it's optional to put these column names, but I'm just using all the column names here. And then I can say values, and then I have to provide values now, right? So I didn't define any primary keys. I'm just keeping some number here. Name can be within double quote, or data can be single or double. Okay. Let's say something job. Okay. Job is a string. Is it done like that? And address. Then I can have like this. Then like that. Address line 1. Okay. And then I can go address line 2, 3 if I define so. Let's say is a king. Okay, so let's say this is a semicolon. So this is how you write one insert statement. Insert into table name person, column names separated by comma, and the bracket ends here. Values, open bracket, 1 for the data for each column. So here name is king, the president, comma, his address is kingdom 123 Mile Lane, and his age is 35. So then you run here, column not allowed here, this bit. Okay, it's taking double quotes here. Double quotes is not the way, single quote is the way. Double quote will come for aliases, so that's all right. So that's one row inserted. Okay, so one row is inserted. Now count star will give me one row is there, and select star from person. It's going to show all the column title like this and all the records. Okay, so this is the row which we inserted. Now inserts we are done. I can do another insert like that. for each column, each record, right? So I'm just, let's say, we I'm just making up as I go. Okay, so okay, so all are there. So queen, new. Some dummied up names. Okay, so I have each insert statement. I insert, that row got inserted, and the next row got inserted. Now I have 3 rows, and if I do count star 3, and now if I select, I'll get all 3 records.
Count star means?
Count star, it's going to count how many records. Star. How many records are in that table, it will count and give you a returned value. Here anyway, it does give that. When I query for star, gives 3 rows return like that. But count star is a SQL statement which will count the total records and then return. Okay. It's all these are questions you're asking to the database, and then through that select, it's going to be returning. So this is a query. So this is select statements, insert. Now I want to modify, let's say, I want to change this address. Now let's say I'm moving. Okay, let's say I want to delete a record. Delete like this. Okay, and delete from. Actually, if I do delete from this, all the records will go. Okay, so then I will give a criteria. Here earlier I didn't show any criteria for the select, right? No problem. Delete from where where mm, let's say name is equal to Jack. So if I do, then this particular record alone will get deleted. So this is a where clause. Okay. Okay, one row got deleted. So now by query, only 2 records will be there. Okay. So this how SQL work. Now there is an update as well. Let's say let's say I want to update this age of this record. Okay. So age of update set. Okay. When you say what are you trying to set? Okay, I'm setting age equal to 30. Age was 31, but now I'm setting the age to a different value. Set age 30 where, for which criteria? So which record where ID equal to 2, like that. Okay, I can choose any column to uniquely pull my column name and to uniquely pull my record. So where ID equal to 2, since I know the ID, or name equal to, you could use any of the column criteria. So set age equal to 30 where ID equal to 2, or even where age equal to 31. Any of these criteria is fine. So this is an update statement. If I run, okay, I didn't put the semicolon, it took, but normally semicolon is required. So one row updated. So if I now query up the records, So this is now 30. Okay. So you could change values like this. Suppose I want to change multiple values. For this, let's say I want to change more than one value. Age is 30. I can say, okay, I will change job is equal to like that. Okay, so for this particular record, I'm changing two values. Okay, if I go in one SQL statement, so both the values have changed. Okay, age and job. So you could put any number of changes, any number of changes can be done with this update statement. You will have to add set, each of them under set. Okay, and this could be any number of columns in the criteria. Here I just picked one column. I can say where age is less than, greater than, all that. Okay, could use relational operators as well. Okay, so this is typically the CRUD operations. We saw create a table and the column, the data type, and all that. We didn't include any primary key. So if I have to do so, okay, create is done. Okay, I will come to it. So create table, we created the table. Then select is like that. Selecting count is like that. We inserted uh, rows. Each insert is one row. So we did 3 records were inserted. Then delete can be like that with a criteria. And update is like that. So this is a CRUD operation. Any questions?
No, sir.
Clear? So next what we're doing, this just we saw how, suppose you want to drop the whole table which I created. Okay. So drop is a data definition statement as well. Drop table name. Valid drop option. I think cascade constraint. Okay. So drop table. Sorry, drop table. What you're dropping has to mention. Drop table, table name. Okay, that table is dropped. Okay. So this will remove the whole table structure. You can recreate. Now let me recreate with the primary underscore key. So this way also you can define a primary key, or you can say constrain primary key and the primary key also. Both options are there. So we'll create table. This time one moment. Like that. Okay, primary key. So here you are creating the table. Now this time, this ID cannot be repeated. So if I do insert, let's say I inserted this record, and then I insert the second record, but inserting the second record, if I just use the same number, it will not let me insert. See, the unique constraint violated. Okay, so the primary key column uh, is always unique. So another record cannot have the same ID value. Is this clear? Okay.
Okay, sir.
So this is the way sequels are. Now I have some hands-on here. Okay, so you will be doing, okay. So that was Apex what I showed. Okay, though you're not uh, having the registration, all that, that's fine. I just showed the Apex in the whole process. Okay, this link I will share. You can put your name details and all that, and it will notify to the email. And once it notifies, you click, you will be allowed to choose a password, and there'll be a workspace given to you. Okay, so workspace is how I came inside. So it's not just username and password. What you're seeing here below, APORCL, is my workspace. So workspace like a project space. Okay, like that. There are more other things in Apex. Let me, yeah, before we go to the hands-on, let me take you into some of the other aspects here. There are utilities. There is an object browser here under. There are so many other. Oracle has built this tool into having more capabilities. So here is all the database objects, tables, views, indexes, sequences, and all that. Uh, and here is each of those. If I click here, it will show me all. So it's an object browser. It's an object browser. All the tables will be shown under this tables. Okay, so that's one. Team development gallery builder as utilities. There are some sample data sets and all that. Templates. Now, templates gallery. Okay, if I click on gallery, there are some samples of templates. Okay, so some sample apps are there. Okay, and here are some type of um, Apex projects. These are okay. Um, so vector search, sample reporting. Okay, and if you click install, it will allow you to build. Okay, and what it builds is like here, what it says here, you can create interactive reports, grids, faceted reports, and all that. Before you go to this, I'll have to tell you about the data, because this hands-on is having two tables.
Hello.
Hello, just give me a moment. Yes, Simi. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
just to tell you, there are two tables here. Okay, department and employee. I will show you for this hands-on. This is how the department table looks. It's like various departments of a company, accounting, research, like that. So three columns on the first table. Department number is a primary key and unique. Okay. Name, this column name is D name. So department name. LOC is the column name for location of the department. So this is how one table looks. And this is an employee table called EMP. And these are the column names there. And there are about 14 records here. Okay. So employee number, E-name for employee name, job, like that. MGR is a manager's employee number of this employee. So suppose Scott has 57566. 7566 is with Jones. So this person is the manager of that employee. Hire date, salary, commission, department number. So this department number is repeating, no? 10, 20, 30, like that. That is these departments. Okay, so the department number is primary key of the department table, but in the other table, it's a foreign key. Okay, so that's, and then when we join, you get this sort of a report output. This is a count of the employees in various departments. Sales is 6, research is 5, accounting is 3 employees. This is not count star. Okay, we'll see how you write the queries for that. I'm just showing the output. So those two tables are used in this sample reporting. They are some sort of example tables. And once you install this component here, this sample app, you will get an output like this. I will show you. That particular card, which it is showing, it is giving this demo. So it's a demo for the same tables, emp and department. In Oracle, these two tables are used for sample learning purposes. So if I go into this dashboard cards, these are the cards what they talked about. Apex can allow you to build reports like this. Okay. So here I can have sales, 3, research. So this is how those output, what you saw there, no? I told you, no? Each department has so many employees. It shows this sort of visual report building with Apex. So you get to see a dashboard with various reports. And this is a dashboard. Okay, with the menu here, you see this hamburger menu.
I didn't see, sir. Where is it? Okay, sir.
Hamburger menu, dashboard, employees, what we saw there, it's here. Okay, so same table. It's an example table. Okay, employee and department are example table and same data is here. So this is a report where I can just filter. Okay, I can filter what are the employees of the sales department, like that. And there is departments. So there are 4 records here. Department number, department name. So if I click this edit, I see these two. This report is not showing the number here, the name and the location, administration, all that. So this old card was not manually created. Of course, it is created by Apex, but if you go in and hit install here, this will come. So likewise, there's some starter apps. These are all the starter apps. Okay, like that. You can explore further. So some sample cards are here. Each of them will have one interface. Okay, this is some quick way of creating a report or like that. Okay. So this comes from the gallery side. This is Apex, and I will share this link. You can register and then go in. It will notify you with an email, and then you can log in. Okay, you will have to set your password. So there is some couple of steps there. Once you register, it's completely free. Okay. No point they're charging anywhere. You might be asked for an Oracle login to be created, but this registration will notify your email. From there, you click, it'll ask you to choose your username as the email, password you can choose, and then a workspace will be given. The workspace is where I started off. You are given the administrator role. It log you, come to the login page like this. Like this. Okay. So then if I give the password and all that, it will log in. Okay. I will need to take a short break. Okay.
Sir.
I will come back in about 10 minutes. Is that fine?
It's fine, sir.
Yes. So meanwhile, you try this registration.
Okay.
Also this extend class link, I can extend class. There's nothing to register on. Straight directly you can directly start running the queries, but I will show it to you. Okay. I will show that because I used to do this, and then Apex. Apex is a skill set which people do ask. Yeah, so that's why I introduce Oracle Apex here. Whereas here is extend class, and you can directly write the statements here. Okay, so like this. But here you'll have to create the table. Okay, so let me first send this in the chat, as I have to step out now. One more. I'm going to send both in the chat. Okay, here is chat. Not this chat. Zoom chat. Sorry. Where did it go? Sorry. That's not the chat I wanted to get. Chat. This is chat. So you get this SQLite. Okay. And for you to register, yeah, this is a link. So copy both the links and put it in your notepad or somewhere. This will come back and try this is completely free and open. Uh, Only thing, it's giving you a database and all that ready, no installation. Okay, so whatever you can try to create table, let's say person, like that. You can try out here itself, but you have to use a run here. Okay. So meanwhile, let me just give some hands-on, and then that slide is there with you, right? This one is there with you.
Yes, sir.
So here, this hands-on, you can try create table, but the script is not there, right? Okay, I'll send you the script. You can copy from there and put it across. Okay, just hold on. Where's the script which I use? So this is script. Pass it on in the chat as well. Okay. You can open it in Notepad.
Okay.
You just have to pass each statement into the first extend class session. Okay. This script I have not opened it, but two things you can do. One, you get the registration in this Apex going. Okay. That will take something less than few minutes. And because you'll have to squeeze back and forth. And then this select statements are all inside. You have to create this here one by one. Copy first script, paste it into either Apex, or Apex will take some time by the time you start working on it, right? Or you go to that, copy this, put it into extend class and hit the run. I mean, this extend class here and click run. It'll not give any responses, but this side the tables will get created. Okay. Just familiarize with your script and all that. I will push it in the chat. You can download this. Okay. So two things. One, register in Apex. Two is run this script in extend class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be back. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right. Bye. Okay.
This Apex,
Okay. Very
Oracle
good.
Apex.
So you got to Apex. That's wonderful. So
Okay,
that's the
where?
object browser above the skill workshop. Click on that menu
Skill workshop. Which one,
on the
sir?
left. I mean, on the left.
SQL workshop.
Yes, yes, yeah, that one. Yeah, click on that. And the
Object
last
browser.
option, SQL Developer Web. Object browser, you get to see all the schemas and all that, various
Okay.
objects. Here we are trying to write queries, right? Go to the last option, SQL Developer Web. Schemas not. No, close that. Close that. Come back. SQL workshop. Click on the SQL commands. Pardon me. The SQL commands. The second one. Yeah. Hmm. So here the script, you got it open on your
Yes, sir.
thing?
I already
Uh,
copied it.
Actually, in that script, these tables are already there. That's okay. Yeah, scroll up, scroll way up. If you create this, because employee and department tables are already in that database. Okay, what you can do is have the name department 1, 2, like that. That's one option because the script is there and all the time. You see what I'm saying? The table names are supposed to be unique. Okay. If that table is already there, you'll get an error. So what we can do here is where you got create table department, uh, you put S at the end.
Yes.
S for semi. So DPTS. Just, yeah, thereby you'll have a unique table name. Okay. Same way MS, EMP. No, not that. That's a comment.
Okay, okay.
S. So this will work. See, earlier that hash is Python comment actually. Earlier, other day, you remember you were asking what is the HTML had
HTML
one.
tag.
HTML had this sort of. I will just put it on the chat like that. /star. You asked what that comment is, right?
Yes, sir.
This is actually the comment in SQL. So this hash at the beginning of the line in the script I gave, that if you put this /star and you have to close it with // that is a SQL comment. So here you can try that by changing the hash at line 1 and 2 that way. Here at 10 also you can remove that.
Slash
That's
star.
/star, like like uh, that is a slash, backslash, star. Star is above the number 8, yeah. Oh. And at the, yeah, at the end, star,
Um,
slash.
slash.
Yeah, so that's a SQL comment. Okay, so it's a multi-line comment as well. It means you can end at the end of the start at the beginning of first line. At the end of the second line, in this case, the create table DPT table. At the end of second line, you go close that /. No, not on the first one now. Yeah. The
Oh, that is
second, that's also a comment, no? So you can, it's a multi-line comment when you put /.
okay.
You remove the hash of the second line, go to the end of the table.
This one.
You can close the close comment can be at the end of the second line. Yeah. You remove the, correct. You see this? So this is how a SQL comment works. Okay. So now you start blocking line 3 to line 8 and hit run.
Sorry, sir.
With the mouse, block that first SQL statement, select the entire thing till line 8. You can take it from where the cursor is blinking. That's okay. Like that. Yeah. Then click run. Invalid
Statement.
invalid SQL statement. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So that's typically, if you couldn't pick it from the beginning of line 3, you could pick it from the comment also. Okay. So that executed. Same way you do the same for the other table. Second one. You can use the arrow keys if the mouse is little. Yeah. Yeah. It's up arrow, down arrow on the keyboard. Yeah. Not everything. Just the one statement only. Not everything. Or the other way is you click from the end of row 22 in that semicolon and move it, block it upward. Correct. Yeah. Now move the mouse upwards. Click, drag. No command. Click, keep the mouse clicked and then drag it upward all the way till create. Uh, or if that is little, you can use the keyboard up arrow, shift and up arrow.
Okay.
Click, shift and down arrow like that. Again,
If it is selected something.
that's why I use a arrow. There are 4 arrows now, up, down, like that. I think statement got removed. Undo. Control Z. Yeah, undo. What happened? Control Z multiple times.
Oh, sorry.
No, don't do that. That's something. Undo. Control Z on the keyboard.
Control Z.
Control and Z together.
Control Z.
Multiple times. Again, keep going, keep going. Yeah, it's bringing back. Control Z. Control and Z together. Oh. That is something else. Now you so use arrows. You press shift at the beginning of line 10, shift and the down arrow you do. At line 9, you keep the cursor at line 9.
Exactly.
Uh,
Is it okay, sir?
I don't know because it's going to give some error. The line 10 is not a SQL comment.
Okay.
Yeah, what you can do is click on line 9, move the arrow key
Okay.
downward. Now do the down arrow. Yeah, don't select. Actually, no, don't select. You select only from line 11.
Okay.
Yeah. Bring the cursor. No, undo. Control Z, not that one. Control Z. Just keep clicking Control Z until you get back. Okay. What I'm suggesting, you somehow click on line 11. I'll tell. Click on line 11 anywhere. Don't click on the beginning. Click anywhere.
Okay.
Click the home key on the side keyboard. There is a top key called home. Now press the shift
Down arrow.
and down arrow. That's yeah. This is easier. Yeah. Till the semicolon. Yeah. Okay. Control. Now you hit the run button. Yeah. That's all. Okay. You didn't change the name of the table. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, just yes. Click there. Yes. Click home. Shift down. Yeah. Yeah, it takes some practice. Does it say table view does not exist? Right, does not exist. Oh, you know what? In the line 21, you see there DPT, it does not exist. I don't know how many. Okay, DPT, not there. Put references DPTS because we changed the name like that. Yeah.
Yes.
Same way you block. Actually, that comment also at line 10, no? Better to change it. See, I don't know if that is interfering. Line 10.